an ever increasingly complex government system. Why? Because we have due process and everything takes a lot longer than it does in communistic countries or in dictatorships where one person makes a decision and the next day they start building a dam. We have to do environmental studies. You have to make sure that the people who are going to be downstream of it aren't going to be affected by it. The complexities have caused complexities in our own life. The laws that we're passing in the state and the federal and the county are becoming so overwhelming that it's hard to figure out when you're abiding by the law and when you're not abiding by the law. We're going to continue to hold these meetings so that we have a constructive dialogue on where you think that Franklin Park should be moving forward. And I'm assuming that the questions about what happened in the past will continue to come up, but I would urge you to take a look and see if we can get some creative juices going and find out if we can come up with solutions to some of these issues. Yes, ma'am?
I live over here on Lewis. Getting back to the garbage
Yes,
fee now we're going to have to pay. My husband's telling me, he's like, don't pay the garbage because I don't want to have anybody pick up our garbage. If for some reason we don't pay the garbage portion of our water bill, is our water going to be turned off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so that's a pretty hefty fee, okay? So now our stickers, our village stickers, is that going to go up? Is that going to increase?
I believe the village stickers are going up. Yes, ma'am.
So because of what happened previously, now we're going to have to pay for all of the back?
For 7 years when we were running a deficit, we were still spending on raises. We were still increasing the number of personnel. We've reduced the number of personnel. We had to take some drastic actions. We're hoping that in the next year that things will go along without a lot of major tinkering. Yes, ma'am?
I'm Edna Elizondo from
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you please speak up?
I'm Edna Elizondo from 3540 on Earth Street. I was going to ask you, now that you're trying to fix the problem that we had from before, other than just the banks and having a new auditor, what check and balance are you going to put in place, and are you going to make it public to us so that we know what you're doing every month?
Yes, ma'am. Right. We hired Kroll Horvath, who is one of the top-notch accounting firms in the nation. We wanted to bring them in to make sure that we felt that our books weren't being cooked, as you said. One of the things that we also did was we brought in accountants to take a look at what the auditors are doing. And we're only going to keep the auditor for 3 years, and we're going to go to another auditor. One of the other challenges that we had is the previous auditor did not provide these management letters that Mr. Johnson was talking about. I talked to Schiller Park, which uses the same auditor, the same auditing company, but not the same auditor that did ours. And they received a monthly management letter. In fact, I asked them for copies as proof. The management letters would tell you, okay, you've taken money out of this TIF this year. It's now the end of the year. You have to make an adjusting entry and put the money back, or tell the people who you're leading to believe that the money is there that it's not there. Yes, ma'am.
Barbara Larson on Edmonton. I heard that they want to turn the Motorola building on Grand into low-income housing.
Oh, into what?
Low-income housing units.
That's a frequent rumor. There's no truth to it. Mr. Eder, do you want to comment on that?
No. In fact, the latest broker, they're trying to sell that at really any cost because the developer that owns it is really in trouble. He may lose that back to the bank again. And the latest flyer I seen was marketing to a data center, a computer data center.
Would they allow, but what if somebody, had money and wanted to do that? Would Franklin Park allow that?
Well, first of all, it's not in the correct zoning to allow residential property, and they actually have to change the zoning.
Yeah, but that could be changed.
It's not going to be changed under my administration because I'm not going to see an FHA building put into that property. You can be certain of that. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I just want to get back on this. It sounds like there's a lot of current money and future money in the next few years. You mentioned the police department thing.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how that works, or if you can expand on that. You mentioned leasing, buying, this, that. Is there a D-Day involved?
Is the what?
Is there a D-Day involved in terms of, are we going to buy something? Are we going to lease? Do you make that?
We put an offer in on a property, and we, since the property has not closed, and we have not confirmed that we're going to close on it. We can't disclose that because it would drive the price up it if everybody knew what property we were buying. So that's why we go, let me finish. That's why when we have a village board meeting, we frequently go into executive session to discuss the possible acquisition or disposition of real property, because it was discussed in public and some developer knew about it, they'd immediately go out and buy that property from the person we're trying to sell it for and then jack up the price.
Okay, so is it your decision in terms of lease, buy, whatever?
It's the board's decision. Mr. Eater has made a presentation to a property owner in town that was one of the lease options. We felt that we would be able to save $166,000 a year by purchasing instead of leasing, and the $1 million or so, $2 million that we would put into it for making it a police station, because you have to equip a police station with a whole lot of extra things. If we lease the property, we would lose that at the end of the 4 or 5 years. This way we don't. Yes, sir.
I just feel, I don't know, obligated. I said I came here for a gut check, and kid growing up in the city, relatives who lived in bad neighborhoods, good neighborhoods, you know, the whole 9 yards, and in all the years of living here, knock on wood, luckily I haven't had a lot of contact with the fire department, police department, but from what I have, in my personal opinion, and talking to people around in other neighborhoods and whatever, my personal opinion is I think they do a fantastic job. And my gut tells me when I cross the border lines to come into Franklin